Well, I wasn't expecting this. So let's just get into it. This show, Miss Marvel, was a show that I had very little hope for. The trailers and even the photos that we'd seen were not promising to me at all. And I also wasn't trusting them changing her powers and getting away from the Terrigen mist and her being an Inhuman. I didn't like that they were getting away from that and going to this light power from a dangle. And, really on top of that, the cast was just a bunch of unknowns. And I mean, going into this show, I was just sitting there like, what is there to be excited about? Nothing has looked good or sounded good so far. Man, was I wrong. Iman Vellani. First off, she is a completely unknown. She's an absolute treasure in this first episode. Like, absolute treasure. From her typical angst and feeling unnoticed as a teenager to her obsession with just not Captain Marvel, but the Avengers as a whole, is charming as ever. I loved her character so much in this show. Then she has this friendship with a guy named Bruno. Not that Bruno. But she has a friendship with a guy named Bruno. And it seems to be like the real heart of the show so far. We'll see what happens in the rest of the series. But this seems like this is going to be her... I kind of akin it back to Shazam, where you had the two characters where they helped each other. And that's what this show kind of felt like, was a younger version, which makes no sense because Shazam was, for kids. But this seems even like a younger version of Shazam set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This first episode really highlights Kamala's desire to go to the first Avengers convention. And the only reason why she really wants to go is obviously she's a big fan of the Avengers, especially Captain Marvel, but she wants to go because she wants to show off her Captain Marvel cosplay and try and win first place. Again, something a 16-year-old who's obsessed with something like that would absolutely want to do. Her parents are, a little strict and they will not allow her to go. But after some shenanigans, she does sneak out to go to the convention. Throughout the episode, we do see her receive a box of trinkets and some materials from a family member. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I do think it's her grandmother. But she sees a dangle inside, which is like a bracelet type of thing. And she thinks it's pretty cool. Her mother notices this, though, and takes it away immediately, giving it to her brother to take it away. Later on, Kamala does find the box of stuff with the dangle and even like a little sash, and she takes them. When she sneaks out and goes to the convention, she puts on the dangle, and unknowing at that moment, it gives her superpowers. She accidentally uses these powers while she's on stage, causing an uproar with the fans and everybody at the convention. I tell you what, it was a fun episode. And if the whole show is going to be like this, that's amazing. Yes, the show is 100% made for those preteen and early teens that are just getting into the MCU, but the connections and even the references to the MCU, like the grander MCU, I think that is why this show can be fun for any Marvel fan. I will say I'm still not sold completely on the new abilities. I'm not going to sit there and say that I was a huge Miss Marvel fan before this. I wasn't. But I have always been interested in the whole Inhuman side of Marvel. And I know that terrible show came out on ABC a number of years back. But I would love to see Kevin Feige dive into it. And, I was hopeful with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And I was kind of hoping that even though we were hearing that they wouldn't dive into the Inhuman side of Miss Marvel, I was kind of hoping maybe they did, regardless of them telling us they wouldn't. I don't know. Like I said, if this show stays going this route, this could be the surprise Marvel hit that we were all looking for. And yes, I get it. Everything that came before has been good to a point. But this is just something that feels genuine. Maybe it's the directing, and maybe it's just the interesting way they use art throughout the show to highlight what is going on. But either way, I'm all in right now. And I cannot wait to see where the show goes. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of episode 1 of Miss Marvel. I thought it was fantastic. I can't wait to see where this keeps going. Yeah, and again, Iman Vellani, she's absolutely adorable in this role. Like, absolutely adorable. You can't take Kevin Feige and his team for granted. They find these actors, they get these people in. Let's not forget that Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston, they were essentially nobodies when they came on and did Thor. But let us know in the comments what you thought. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, all that jazz. With all that said, I'll talk with all of you later.